Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to the Pretty Rich Teacher podcast. I am so excited to chat with you all today. If you haven't listened to my episode of Back to School Blues, I know that right now you all are in the thick of it. This episode is going to tell you the 4 things that are blocking you from actually getting what you want on the other side of the depression of going back into the classroom, if that is you, or maybe you are just sad and upset that you didn't reach your goal, whatever it is, this episode is going to give you the exact thing that's stopping you and a solution. I am not going to give you problems. You have enough problems. I'm going to give you solutions as to how to actually cash out on the check you're writing. If I want to leave the classroom, I deserve to make more money. I know I'm qualified. Don't really have time to do it. I don't know if I should do it. I'm going to answer all of these. So, this is a great first episode to listen to. I'm going to go straight into it. You're going to know which thing is stopping you. Now, where this is coming from is actually the quiz that I released. So if you have not already, I'm going to put the quiz. It's in my link on my website, prettyrichtteacher.com. It's also on my link whenever you click on my TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, that link is there, but it's a quiz called What is Blocking You from Being Pretty Rich and Leaving the Classroom? This is not a quiz that's just for fun. You take it and then you do nothing with it. I always say, if you listen to my podcast and you don't do anything with it, it's entertainment. Okay. And as much as I know I'm entertaining, my goal is for you to entertain money in your pockets. Okay. I want you to make coins, cash, dollars, American. Okay. And from me working with educators for the past 3 years, specifically on helping them leave the classroom for a higher paying role. Some clients I've worked with that are already out of the classroom, but they are not making a 100K minimum, or they're not on a path towards a higher paying career. If you are not on a path towards an 100K career, you're not on a path to an 100K career. It's simply that. So either you're on that path or you're not. And then so a lot of you are wanting to leave the classroom and you are like, oh no, for sure, I want to leave, but things are blocking you from leaving. And I'm going to go over the top 4 things. Now, everybody has a little bit of all of them, but you typically have one main thing that's stopping you. So the problem right now is you want to leave the classroom. That's your urgent problem. You want to leave the classroom, but you maybe don't know where to start, or you don't know why it's not happened yet. Maybe you're someone who has tried, you have not gotten anything back. You've put in resumes, applications, you got interviews, but no job offer. Maybe you are someone who still is not sure if you want to leave or not. Maybe you're someone who just doesn't have the time, Or maybe you're someone who is like, okay, I really, really want support, but I don't have the money to invest in support. Okay. Or I don't know if I'm going to be able to leave and make the amount of money. Like, you're money anxious. So I'm going to go over each one in depth. Now, when you take the quiz, so I encourage you that your homework assignment is to go take the quiz, right? And when you take the quiz, you're actually going to get a personalized podcast episode specifically talking to that problem with an actual activity. I'm going to reiterate this. If you listen to my podcast, this one or that one, because I have a private podcast, the only way to access that private podcast is by taking the quiz. If you only listen, it's entertainment. Like I said, if you want to make money, you need to take action. You want to take action. And whatever's stopping you from taking action is the problem that we need to solve for. So think of that quiz as, in the private podcast is actually called the Rich Teacher Fix. It's a separate one. You can only get it from taking that quiz. And then another part that I'm going to say, you subscribe to the Pretty Rich Teacher Times on my newspaper. And if y'all haven't noticed, your girl has rebranded. Pretty Rich Teachers taken over. Broke teachers are over. Okay, that's done. If y'all watch The Wiz, green is in. The red apple is out. The green money is in. Okay, we want the green apple. We want the green money. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, so that's what's happening. And I'm going to go over to how this presents. So again, from what I've seen, again, this is research. I'm a researcher. I have my doctorate. I'm a researcher. I have researched. I've gotten really curious. I know how people get jobs. Now, what I've been curious as to, why are people not getting hired? Why are people not actually getting the thing that they want? And it's more than just a resume. It is more than just interviewing. Okay, there are other blockers that are stopping you. And I'm going to start with the top one, because my goal, and I find it my mission, okay, to make more teachers rich. But the number one thing stopping teachers from making money is their views on money, your money story. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the top 4 things. I'm gonna give you solutions. But these 4 things that I'm gonna discuss is not just about you going into a new career. It's really going into any new thing, right? It's going into any new thing. All of the stories and the solution I'm presenting to you are things that I am actively still getting better at. Now, I have mastered one more than one in other areas. But what I really want you to anchor in on is that this is beyond just getting a job. What my goal is not only to have pretty rich teachers around the world. What's better than one pretty rich teacher? 2,000 million, however many we can get. Okay. But it's not just about getting the job offer. It's about becoming the version of you that lands job offers, plural. The version of you that knows how to get paid her worth. Okay. The version of you who knows how to do that is the one who's going to get hired. Let me say that again. No resume template, no course can outbeat the identity that you take on when you do those things. Okay, for example, think about a student in your classroom, right? And let's say that they are doing a play for the school. Okay, you give them the lines, you give them a coach, you teach them how to, do the acting in the school play, and they just get up there and they still don't really believe that they should be doing it. So they're like giving the lines, maybe they're giving a little, but they're not really doing it. They're just like reading lines, and it's just like, girl, what you doing? That's what it's like when you try to leave the classroom and you don't solve for these 4 things. Okay. You want to really embody the version of you who gets it. So from this episode today, I want y'all to take action. Do not let this episode just be in your ears. I know a lot of y'all listen to this in the car, but I want you to make sure you're taking action. Even if you're someone who's already transitioned and you haven't made 100K yet, lock back in, baby girl. We got 100K to make. Okay. So let's go. Number 1, money anxious. Okay. Money anxiety looks like when you think about money or spending money, your body freezes up. You're like, oh, like your brain is so focused on being resourceful. You're only thinking about money. Okay. And now you're thinking, okay, I want to make more of it. But in order to make more of it, you are unwilling to part ways with money. Okay. You're like, I want to make $100,000, but I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to pay for anything. Now, the whole thing about money anxiety is being able to feel safe, putting your money in 4 different areas. We have bill pay, and I go over this in depth in the episode, but I'm just giving you a higher level overview. If you are anxious about money, money will be anxious to you. Okay. Money does solve all your money problems, but it still does not change you. This is all identity. I'll give you all an example. Okay. I went to the American Black Film Festival in May and I got the energy pass. So it was like $1,000 and I had saved money for it. Okay. But when it came to me, and this is me making more money, when it came to me like partying with that money, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should do this. I was not used to spending money outside of what I normally spend money on. So right now as a teacher, you spend money on your bills, you might save, you have money that comes out of your check for retirement, and then you have some spending money, if that. And that's really it. Okay. Most teachers are not actively finding ways to increase their income. And then they usually say, oh, well, I don't have enough. I don't have money. My whole point is to make more money. I don't have money. So like, my whole point is if you have drama about, and I don't mean drama in a bad way, but if you're not actively increasing your income and you're so tight with money, you won't even be open to being able to articulate why an employer should pay you $100,000. Because in order for you to get paid $100,000, especially if you're looking to go into ed tech, customer success, or ed tech sales. So I know a lot of people are scared of sales, so they want to do ed tech customer success, right? So when it comes to ed tech customer success, your whole goal is to ensure that schools and school districts get a return on their investment. They are paying that company to use their product. They are paying that company to have a customer success manager ensure their success, right? And they get their ROI. So if you cannot even fathom investing money in something that's going to bring you back more money and give you the life that you want, you won't be able to make the 100K that you want. Now, I'm not telling that you won't be able to do it in a mean way. But I'm not trying to be that teacher's like, you're not going to do amount to nothing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's going to be harder. Because if you're anxious, you're not ever going to really be able to do the thing. Another way this presents as, even let's say you get the job, okay? I see a lot of educators like me still are afraid of spending money outside of it. So again, The 4 areas are bill pay. Most of y'all just pay your bills. You save money. If that's also a luxury, if you save money, and then you invest in your long term. A lot of us don't really have unexpected expenses fund. A lot of us don't have an active way of increasing their income. Most of y'all have degrees, which all teachers have bachelor's degrees, so you all have the ability to invest in your degree. But if you're not making $100,000 peacefully, you have not gotten a true ROI. So in your head, your money story is like, oh, well, I already invested in a degree. I'm going to use my degree to make more money. But here's the thing. If you don't invest outside of your degree, if you're not even open to even learning, so I'm not telling that you have to invest. I'm saying if your brain does not even allow yourself to think differently about money, you won't make more, or you'll be capped at where you're making. Because quite literally, the way that you make more money is by investing. Okay. So when you get to the stock market, when you get to wanting to really have more money for retirement, it is quite literally you putting in money. And honestly, the long-term investing actually requires patience. You can't call the stock market and be like, hey, can I get my money back? This stock not doing well. You can't do that. You can pull things out. But like the only way to guarantee that you make more money is by actively investing money and time for resources that will help you make more money. Everybody who I know who makes 100K, okay, in corporate, not just teachers, they are investing in their skills. And it's not like investing, paying for something. It's investing in yourself. You want to be able to feel safe investing in yourself. Okay. I want you to feel safe investing in yourself. I'm talking directly to you. I want you to feel safe investing in yourself. Okay. It's going to feel scary. I still feel scared spending money. But when I invest, I don't look at it as spending money. I look at it as investing. Some of y'all are confusing investing money with spending money. So this looks like, oh, I don't want to invest in something because it wouldn't be responsible of me. Okay, it wouldn't be responsible of me. I believe a lot of y'all believe you're doing the right thing by not spending money on things, but like investing and spending are different. Me spending money, and now I do decorate my words. I do call vacations investments, but vacations for me are an investment. So like I do ensure that I have spending money. I have money to make sure I go on vacations, and then I have spending money to do extra things, right? But also for my business, like for me to increase my business income, I'm investing in the skills that I need to increase it, right? If I know why I'm not making money in certain areas. Like I've been following my journey. I'm still kicking the can around with LinkedIn, but I'm locking in. I lock back in all the time. Okay. Pay money and I'm still working on it. But like you want to actively invest in giving yourself the resources. No program I've ever purchased has gave me the thing that I wanted. It's me absorbing the information to be able to do it. But I had to put myself in a situation to do it. My very first investment outside of my degree was like $12,000 in a coaching program of how to start my business. It really helped me do everything, like start it to launch. It was actually called like zero to clients. And I literally learned how to go from zero to clients. And I was in a position to even invest outside of just, for my career, this like a business venture, because I had a job that paid me money. So the whole goal is you need to put yourself in a situation where you have a career that is covering all of your bases, a career that allows you to pay your bills, a career that allows you to save, a career that allows you to invest short term and long term, and to be able to spend money the way you want to spend it. Okay. If you're not doing that in all 4 areas, that is your work. Okay. And I've seen this so many times. Okay. I've even been called on the internet. Oh my gosh, she's scamming people. Okay. She's scamming people. Why is she taking advantage of teachers? Here's the thing. Teachers, y'all have been taking advantage of. You all have been trained to, and I'm giving you the real. I'm giving you the absolute real because I want you to make real money. Teachers have been indoctrinated of free, resource, be a mentor, but don't charge. Okay. And then you wonder why you're overworked. You wonder why. Okay. I've mentored plenty of people in my career as a teacher, as an admin, and I didn't get paid extra. If I did get paid extra, it was like $100. Okay. We are taught to not invest in mentors. You can just find somebody. But if you want to make big money, like if you look up any business, the only way business stay and even companies, the only reason people stay in business is they're exchanging time for money. If you are giving a lot out all the time for free, You will exhaust yourself. Like, y'all are currently doing it right now. You all are exhausting yourself for free right now for $40, whatever your salary is. Okay. I want you to subtract whatever much money you're making from $100,000. That's how much money you're underpaid. And if you're already making $100K, I want you to tally up all the hours you spend working or thinking about working. Okay. And I want you to, because ideally you should not be working, I would say 20 to 30 hours a week is a standard in the new corporate America. You don't really need to be working 40 hours a week. Now, there are different careers that call for different long hours. But there are balances. Like if you are a doctor or if you are someone who is a manager, there's still a way to work better, which means my next point. After we cure money anxiety, the next thing is being stretched thin. Because typically what happens, you're either complaining about money or you're complaining about time. When you solve your money problem, so if you're someone who's like, oh no, I have no problem investing, and like the girls who are not money anxious have had a history of spending money. So if you have not spent money or invested money before, that is why you're so anxious. So like the only way to kind of cure that anxiety is to spend some money. But be smart on what you're spending your money on. Okay, be smart on it. Okay, and there are books about it. There's a book I recommend, The Art of Spending Money. I highly, highly, highly recommend. If you're money anxious, The Art of Spending Money. That is a phenomenal book to read. Okay, phenomenal, or listen to. After money, people complain about time. Okay, if you are someone who is stretched thin and you don't have time to have the time, and you don't have the time, you won't have time for hobbies. You won't have time to live life. And life is not promised for you. We want to ensure that we are getting curious as to where your time is going. We all have the same 24 hours. Okay. How you spend your time is a choice in the most loving way possible. Okay. Use your 3 categories of time. Survival. What do you need to do, actually need to do to survive? Okay. Paying your bills, to have money, a roof over your head. Then we have recovery, relaxation. Okay. Recovery and relaxation. Okay. And then time for future you. If you want to be someone who sustains 6 figures, because some people have DIY themselves into careers, but if you want to be able to stay there, you need to learn the career itself. You need to do whatever you need to do to sustain it. But you also need to learn how to work-life balance. One of the things I tell my clients when they go into their new jobs is to have 3 clear hobbies outside of work. Do not let work be your only thing. I recorded a podcast episode that y'all are going to hear. I cannot wait for y'all to hear it with Keisha. She's one of my clients who literally, when I'm telling y'all my quiz, that all the 4 things that stop you, she had all 4 strong. Like if I had to rate 10 out of 10 for each one, she had all 10 of them, all 4 of them number 10s, and she was still able to get a job in less than 4 months. And it wasn't like she was lucky. It was the part of being stretched thin is like, if you are already stretched thin, that means you do know what it's like to go through the thick of it. Because when you go into a new career, like going into a new career, 6-figure career requires a 6-figure mindset. And in order to adopt a 6-figure mindset, you have to think new thoughts. And you're going to have to lose your current mindset, which means it's going to feel like you're losing your mind. Okay. So you're already losing your mind right now. You're stretched thin. If you want to be able to have a full cup, we want to really figure out where our time is going. So being money anxious, having your time stretched thin, like not getting a hang of those are the 2 things that are killers. If you don't have time and the money to make time and money, that will forever be your problem. So those are the things you solve for. A lot of us are worried about resume or about things, but those are the 2 things. If you're money anxious, you're like, oh, I'm just worried about money. I don't want to, or maybe you are okay with spending money or investing, but you're just afraid of money. You won't even allow yourself to go there. Like some people are like, oh, I know I can't find a job that makes my amount of money. And it's like, oh, but I'm like, girl, there is. Okay. Like there is, but you're so afraid of like stability and money that you won't even allow yourself to go there. Like there are jobs that pay you money. You all like, there are people in corporate who have successful, fulfilling careers. None of my clients have ever gotten laid off from a job because they just know how to do the job. And I teach them how to always get a job. Okay. So if you're stretched thin, if you don't have the time to have the time, you won't ever have the time to have the time. So we got to solve our time problem. And time is deep. I personally am working with an ADHD coach to help me with my time management because I realize I cannot do it by myself. I realize that. I've tried it by myself. Okay. If you're really anxious about investing in support or anxious about, working on your thing, you're already probably in your worst case scenario. So I'm like, well, I'm already in my worst case scenario, so I might as well. And I've been learning a lot. Like I had got to a point where I think with being in education, it's stability and the fact that you know what to expect every single year. Every August is back to school. Like September, it dies down. October, the kids act up. November is Thanksgiving break. December is winter break. Fresh start, feeling good, feeling sad, coming back January. You're ready to count down to the end of the school year. Then you have summer, then you recover, you do it all over again. Okay. You already know you're gonna get a new set of students, you're gonna be excited for a little bit. You know the deal. So when it comes to doing something new, your brain is not used to it. So anytime you do something new, your brain is going to danger, danger, danger. Your brain's gonna send danger down there. Okay. Even if it's something that you want to do. And if you feel stretched, then that's because your brain is literally stretching. Your brain is stretching from you doing something new. So you're already stretched and overexhausted in your current job. So being able to really find the capacity of being able to handle, figure out what your time management issue is. Okay, why are you not getting things done? For me, I had gotten to a point where with entrepreneurship and my new job and all of the things I'm doing, right? Um, it was really taking told me where I got anxious of making a plan because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to implement my plan. So I might as well not create a plan. I did that for a while. Like I have a whole planner that did not get filled out for like 6 months because I was so anxious. And then I realized, oh, the reason why I'm anxious is because I wasn't giving myself a plan. Like I can either be anxious with a plan. And sometimes when I have a plan, I'm also anxious. I'm like, I want to make sure I do it. So I had to really get down to dirty. I'm like, oh wow, like, okay, so it's me. I'd rather be anxious with a plan. And I'd rather, when I found out that the only reason why I don't do the things that I say I'm going to do is because one, making a plan is easy, following through is harder. And if I did not follow through, I just did not give myself the support needed to do the goal. So what I'm saying is we want to solve our money anxiety and we want to solve our time thing. Okay. Once you solve those, the other two are a little bit easier to manage. Okay. The other one is second guessing yourself. You're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I want to leave, but I want to leave, but I want to like basically I want to leave, but you have a but. A big but is in the way. Okay. And we need to remove the but. We got to go all in. We got to go all in on one thing. And if your biggest thing is, I want to make more money, you want to really figure out your why. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? What is the real reason? Okay. If you're listening to this podcast, there is some reason why you're listening to this podcast. Why you listen to it? Okay. Why you listen to this? Because you want more money. You want more time freedom. You see other people doing it, but you know deep down this is what you really want. Okay. And the thing is, a lot of people really want the thing. They want the gold medal. They want the finish line reward, but they're not willing to do the thing to get it. You have to be willing to do what others won't do to get what others won't get. And second guessing yourself is really just self-trust in disguise. You don't actually trust yourself. Okay. And I'm telling you, 4 years out of the classroom, I'm just now trusting myself. Okay. I'm just now trusting myself. So I'm trying to save y'all 4 years in this one episode and my 4-part quiz. I'm saving y'all 4 years. Okay. So I want you to stop second guessing yourself, girl. Stop second guessing yourself. You know what you need to do. I told one of my clients, shout out to Kayla. Hey girl. She had, and not in a bad way, but she kept coming to me. I don't know. I'm confused about this. I'm confused about that. I don't understand this. I don't understand that. I just stop being confused. So stop it. Stop being confused. So I'm telling you right now, stop being confused. You know what you need to do. Like if you sit there and you ask yourself, okay, girl, why haven't I gotten a job yet? Why am I second guessing? Sit there and hear you know why. If you don't know why, you probably don't have enough silence. You're probably stretched thin. Sit down. Why am I second guessing myself? And what do I really want? Okay. Because again, you're probably in your worst case scenario right now. Okay. Anytime I second guess myself, like it's better for you to make a decision and stick with it and fail on your way there versus you like not making a decision. So a lot of y'all, when you're confused, when you don't know, that's a cop out. It's a cop out. Oh, I didn't know which one to do, so I didn't do anything. It's kind of like whenever someone is doing a game. All right, if you want to have more money or have more time, if you don't want to make more money, go to the left. If you want to have more time, go to the right. And you're like, oh, I don't know. And I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. I don't really know. No, can't get out the middle. Get out the middle. The middle does not exist. You're in the middle. You're not doing either. You don't have time or money. That's what you are when you're second guessing. You have no time and no money. You have no time and no money. And no confidence. You want that? Probably not. Okay? So stop second guessing yourself. Stop second guessing yourself. Every obstacle that every but you have, write down all the buts and find the answer. The internet is free. Okay? The internet is free. I love you so much. The last one is this is what y'all really want. This is overqualified but overlooked. Every single educator, if you have at least 2 to 3 years experience in education, you have a bachelor's degree, you have the ability to, like, for ed tech specifically, I'm kind of talking about ed tech, but really for any career. I have people who have listened to my podcast and started going into nursing. I have people who went on my podcast and went into marketing. People go into so many different careers. You don't have to just go in the careers I'm talking about. Those are just 2 careers that are for educators who still like being able to serve education, and they are good with training people. They're good with people. Those are 2 careers that I help with. And most people follow me for that, going into ed tech. And this is how it presents. I'm applying for jobs, but no one's hiring me. No one's getting back. I don't know how to, like, you basically don't know. And you keep complaining about all the things that you don't know, but you won't actually get the support required to get it. And then go back to, like, there's something blocking you from it. It's, I don't have them. Okay. So, like, the whole goal, if you're overqualified or overlooked, you don't have the skill of getting job offers. And now your brain's like, where do I look? Where do I look? Girl, look right here. Look right here. Okay, my whole podcast is filled with the skills of getting job offers. Okay, my entire program. By the way, if you are wanting to get this type of help, Teachers in Tech, my signature program to help teachers go into tech, into 6-figure careers. Okay, that is what I do. Okay, if you ever want to learn how to enroll, make sure you book a call. Check my website for the deeds. Go on my YouTube. I would recommend, what episode was that? I think it was 79 and 80. You can go look at people who were just like you, who didn't know what they were doing, and then they got help and they got it. So I'm saying all this to say, there is no reason why you should not be making $100,000. And those are the top 4 reasons why you are not. So what your next step is to solve for that problem. Solve for that problem. I'm money anxious. I'm going to solve my money anxious problem. I'm stretched thin. I'm going to solve my time management problem. I'm second guessing myself. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know if I should do it. Solve your second guessing problem. I'm overqualified. No one's hiring me. I don't know what to put on my resume. Solve for that problem. Okay? You can solve for your problems. You're brilliant. One thing I will tell you, when your emotions are high, your intelligence is automatically lowered. Okay? Think about when a kid falls down and they hurt, like they're bleeding on their knee. Okay? They are not thinking anything logically. Okay? It can even be like nothing. They could hurt they could fall down and there'd be no blood. But because they are just hot, emotions are heightened, like, I'm crying. And then the way you solve for that is like, hey, you're okay. How you feeling? Okay. Want to get up? Want to stand over here? You redirect them. And that's what you need to do with your brain. Like, anytime you feel pain. So if you're like, I'm scared. Ask yourself questions. Why are you scared? And don't do it with shame. Just ask yourself, what's going on, girl? Because there's no blood here. You're alive. You didn't die. Nothing that you're going through, you didn't die yet. If you're listening to this, you're alive. If you're listening to this, you have air, oxygen, ears. Okay? You have the ability to do this. You have to start asking yourself questions. Okay? You want to ask yourself what's really going on and what am I doing to solve my current problem? If you want to sit there with problems, that's a choice. And I mean that in a loving way, girl. My whole goal, like my whole point is to really get you to look at yourself in the mirror and figure out, where am I stuck? The quiz is going to give you your blocker. It's going to give you a private podcast. So I give you a high level overview, but in the private podcast, I give you an in-depth next step to solve your problem. If you hear yourself in all of them, listen to all of them. But again, don't just listen. This is not entertainment purposes, even though I'm entertaining. Okay? Even though I'm entertaining. Do not let this be entertainment. It's not, like, if anything, that means you think it's funny to be underpaid. And I don't think that's funny. I don't think it's funny that people call teachers broke. I don't think it's hilarious at all. Okay? I'd rather you laugh to the bank. I'd rather you laugh and giggle and kiki with your friends, in Greece, right? With the money that you have to pay your bills, to save, to invest, to actively, because the thing is, people who say, I'm happy with the money that I make, and like, you don't want any more, like, and I'm not saying that you have to always increase your salary, but if you have a problem, like if you still have money problems, then that's a sign that we still want to increase our salary. Okay? Or you can just like making money for fun. I actually like making money for fun. Okay? Because I feel like money solves many problems. I'm able to use all 4 buckets But I still have other goals. Okay. Figure out what it is. And I want you to solve for that. That's it. I want you to solve for it. Okay. So steps, take the quiz if you have not already, take your result, implement it. Okay. And then I want you to take action. What are you going to take action in doing? Come back to this podcast episode. Anytime you feel like nothing's working, come back and listen to this episode. There's usually something there. Okay. There's usually something there that you want to remove out of the way. Okay. Check the show notes. Check prettyrichtteacher.com if you want to be able to get support in your journey. If you want to have a community of women, we are here for you to help you make the money. Okay. Teachers in Tech, we're taking over. Pretty Rich Teachers, we're taking over. If you want to join, you can either watch us or join us. Okay. I would not be on the sidelines with this. Okay. I would like for you to be a founding member. And the good news is every time you take action of making more money, you get to show other teachers that it's possible for them. Every single time I have an episode with my clients, another teacher gets inspired and they book a call and they want to work with me and they make money. Or they're inspired and they go do their own thing. Like I said, I have so many people who are doing so many other careers. And I want you to be a part of this movement. I can't do it alone. I'm not. Okay. All right. I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye.